If you're an Aries Ascendant, your rising sign is Aries. This is a natural zodiacal house setup. So all of the signs are ruling over their natural house rulership. So if you were born with an Aries Ascendant, your first house is ruled by Aries. And with your first house being ruled by Aries, you have this natural leadership ability. Before you leave the house, you get energized with so much energy, confidence, and drive. You feel as if you're ready to take on any kind of task, obstacle at hand. And also, you do it in such a very childlike and innocent way. It just comes natural to you, where you just draw off of this energy and you're very adamant to basically achieve any kind of goal set forth outside of your doors or your sacred space. And also, generally, a Aries Ascendant will have an athletic build. They'll be very healthy because they'll just have a lot of juju, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of energy to work with. And usually they have more of a kind of a dominant build. They're going to have confidence that keeps them having this brash-like quality where people notice them because of their carefree nature, just to be themselves, be a leader, be loud, be brash, and be confident enough to just be seen and heard out in the world, and to do whatever it is they need to do without making any apologies for it or any hesitation. So they just have this natural, carefree, innocent, childlike, and very energized soul that sets them apart from the rest. And that's what makes them so good at leading, because it gets people out of their comfort zone and it encourages people to kind of drop their guard and not worry so much about what other people think. Because Aries risings, they tend not to generally think too much about what other people are going to think. They just do what comes natural to them, and that is acting in which whatever they want to say or to do or to achieve or to implement or to take charge, they do so without any hesitation. So it comes off very naturally admired. So they get a lot of admiration from that. And that's what makes them good leaders, because people can respect their ability to be authentically energized and taking charge forward with whatever it is that they're doing, and it's just very effortless, and people get into the groove of that kind of energy because it's forward moving, it gets things done, and you're able to just move the energy in a way without any hesitation. So you're not second guessing yourself. You make a decision and you go for it. And also, with your first house being ruled by Aries, you will feel the need to exert a lot of this energy at the same time. So you'll probably definitely want to keep busy. You could have multiple jobs, or you want to do something very action-oriented that allows for leading others and being in charge. Not only of yourself, you like to motivate, you like to instruct, you like to teach in a way where you're getting people physically going. So you would be a really good trainer physically. Aries is all about being action oriented. Aries ruling your first house, it's cardinal fire. So it's definitely picking up the momentum. You may not need a lot of rest. However, you could burn yourself out, so you just have to be cautious with the energy. You'll just have so much energy to work with. So having this as your rising sign, you'll definitely understand that you have this almost this unlimited tank of energy to, do things in the world. And a lot of the time, the world requires physical action. So that's why, if you have an Aries ascendant, you are one of the more greater manifestors, because you're willing to put in the action to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And also, for Aries Ascendant, doesn't really matter your physical build. Just know that you will have the stamina, the endurance, and generally speaking, Aries, they don't tend to burn out too easy because of just how much impact they do make with just the drive they have to exert and, put their energy into a certain task. However, it's almost like when the Aries continues to exert their energy and be action oriented, it recharges their battery in some sense. So that's why they just keep going and going and going and going until, definitely their body does need a break, or their mind, or just the natural cycles and rhythms of life just allow for the Aries to say, hey, it's time to rest, relax, go to sleep, and, recharge in that way. Otherwise they tend to just keep going, 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 and going. So also, Aries Ascendant, your second house will generally be ruled by Taurus and fixed earth. With Taurus ruling your second house, you will have this natural sensation to value your self-worth and manifesting physical resources in the mundane, and just this natural instinctual methodical way. It just comes natural, because the benefit of an Aries Ascendant is all the houses are set up in its original house rulerships according to the influence of the signs. So Taurus ruling your second house of fixed earth, you're going to be stubborn in the sense where your self-worth isn't going to be too compromised here. You're going to know your value. You're going to stick to your guns. And if you want something, your skills are going to definitely be practical, in the sense where it just comes to you like second nature, and you don't have to utilize your ability to maintain resources in such a strenuous way, because Taurus is definitely just consistently, it's steadfast, and it ruling your second house here of self-value, self-esteem, money, resources, your capability to earn money. It just comes very natural, and it almost comes to you. So it's as if you put your energy into something, you're definitely going to slowly and steady reap the rewards of that, generally speaking, with Taurus ruling your second house here, because you're going to be confident in what you do, and there's going to be some sense of patience and a good the good side of being stubborn here, because over time your resources will build up, and the skill that you have regarding your second house here is going to basically just get stronger and stronger and stronger. And this gives you a sense of pleasure, knowing that your worth is incredibly enriched by the Taurus vibe ruling over your second house of money, self-esteem, and resources, and your skill level, and just your tactic, and basically just surviving here in the mundane. It's going to be just very primitive and instinctual, and it's going to be almost like Mother Nature has just fine-tuned your ability to kind of survive in whatever terrain possible, or whatever circumstances or environment here. And you as an Aries with that confidence is going to make things happen and make things work here with Taurus in your second house, because you're going to feel stubborn enough to stick to something, and methodically it's just going to generate the resources that you are possibly seeking and attracting, manifesting. So then, if you have an Aries Ascendant, your third house generally is going to be ruled by Gemini, its natural house ruler. And here, you're going to basically be very curious within the community. So you're going to like to explore your neighborhood. You're going to have almost like an on and off again relationship with siblings. So you're just going to be very curious with information on a basic level here. And you're going to be curious with what goes on within your community. So this is definitely a lot of why you're so outgoing within your community here, with Gemini ruling your third house, because you're going to be in the details of the services that are available within the community. You're going to be interested in what your neighbors are doing, what activities are going on that you can get involved with in the community. And you're also going to have this relationship with siblings that's almost hypersensitive, in a way where you definitely like to communicate and have a lot of superficial conversations with siblings, and you like to keep it light and fun here. So if you have an Aries Ascendant, generally you will have a pretty superficial relationship with your siblings, and you'll always feel as if you can be open with them, but you'll definitely like to keep it light and airy. And also, you'll just be very curious